if you see that turn on, just know that that's good. So we have this opportunity to share this with all the members who aren't going to be here. So it's great. I wanted to just kind of give you guys the lay of the land a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today and going over. We already did the first piece. I just wanted to get you settled into your space. We talked a little bit about the Zoom functions that you see here. Again, if you have any specific questions, please drop those in the chat box, or send a private message to Assistant Coach Bree. You can find her name in the participant list. She's going to be my eyes and ears today to help me out today. Then I'm going to spend a few minutes here covering our 5-minute action, just talking about what it means to take action and why that is so important for you this year, as you can probably imagine. We're going to talk about a few general sweeping themes, some normal FAQs that we get as coaches when we hear about our 5-minute action. And then we're going to have a little bit of some just hands-on time for you guys. So I hope that you maybe have a pen and a piece of paper handy, and because I'm going to be asking you guys to reflect on a few questions, kind of get involved. We're going to break out into smaller groups so you guys can actually talk amongst yourselves and kind of share some of your strategies, maybe share some of the things that you found successful so far, maybe share some of the hurdles you're experiencing, and maybe some of your other teammates are going to be able to help you and listen to those experiences. And so I'm hoping you guys really enjoy those breakout rooms. We're going to come back from those breakout rooms, and I'm going to give us a little bit of space and time to just reflect and say, hey, what did you hear in those breakout rooms? What was good? Anything that you'd like to share? So I'm hoping some of you guys will come back from those breakout rooms with a couple aha moments. And then we're going to have some open Q&A and a wrap up at the end. Just some time for you to ask any questions about what we talked about today, or any questions in general. And I'm going to try to leave a good chunk of the last part of this hour to kind of talk about that. Okay. So here we are, taking action. We started this year at PN on your 5-minute action. This was your first habit of the year. And, I think a lot of people we hear at the beginning of the year, it's like, well, we're here for fitness and nutrition. And you have asked me to just do something for 5 minutes each day. And I think it's important that we say, this is what I call our consistency maker. Those small actions that we take on a daily basis are really what build and grow and create consistency across all of your habits throughout the course of the year. I think a lot of clients come saying, hey, I know what to do, but I just can't be consistent at it. That's one of the things that we hear in your intake questions all the time. And we want you to have this tool. It's the reason we introduced the 5-minute action at the beginning of the year. So you had a tool that you always have on your tool belt to kind of break out of the cycle when you find that you aren't taking action maybe that you want to be taking, or maybe you feel like you're not moving towards your goals. And it's a way that if you feel like you're getting off track, you can pull this 5-minute action and kind of re-find your footing. Again, maybe write a little note that action is your consistency maker. It's what you do each day that builds, and by breaking it down into small, tiny actions, you're building it to just create those bigger goals that you've set out for yourself. The action is kind of the thing before the thing. We think sometimes that we have to make these big sweeping changes, change our whole diet, or change our whole approach to fitness, when sometimes it's just the little things. Maybe I just need to change going to sleep 5 minutes earlier. So it's easier to get up 5 minutes earlier, and it's easier to then be more consistent with my workout. So potentially it may not even be the workout itself that you need to change, but maybe a little bit something before that. It's kind of like this other thing too. Before you can eat a nutritious meal, what has to happen? It doesn't just magically appear, right? These 5-minute actions, help you break things down. So first we have to plan the meal, and then we have to grocery shop, and then we have to prep the meal, and then we have to get it to the table. So all of those things are what our final goal is of getting healthy food on the table. But we have to break it down into these smaller 5-minute actions as we go along. So I'm hoping you're kind of getting an idea of how your 5-minute action can really be a solid tool for you throughout the year. And I think that the other thing that this 5-minute action does is it helps you realize on a daily basis that you're proving to yourself that you are finding small little ways to create self-care and little steps in your fitness journey. So that's kind of what we're going there for with your 5-minute actions. I hope as you've been implementing your 5-minute action over the course of the last couple of weeks, you've just noticed how it helps your day and how it helps you break down those big hurdles into little things. And it helps you feel like you're just giving yourself permission, like I said before, to find little ways to create self-care in your day, to remind yourself that you're worth it. You're worth this journey and this space and this time that you're here. And just worth taking ownership over the action that you're wanting to create for your health and fitness journey. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about some of the FAQs, like the frequently asked questions and the themes that we see kind of come up at the beginning of the year with your 5-minute actions. So some of those questions and themes that I've been seeing in my must box, and I'm sure some of the other coaches have too, have been things like, I'm struggling to come up with a 5-minute action. Is there a correct one I should be choosing? And I think it's really important to know that there isn't a correct or there isn't a right or wrong way to approach this habit. It doesn't have to be a fitness action. It doesn't have to be a nutrition action, although those are the things that we tend to see help people feel like they're moving in the direction of their goals a little bit. It can be one action over the course of the entire 2 weeks, or it can be multiple actions that kind of just are clearing the path for you to have success later in the year. One of the things that we've noticed is that some clients have a lot of little things. I need to clean off the treadmill. I need to clear a space in my home to do my workouts. Perhaps I need to go pick up a set of dumbbells at the store. Maybe I want to call the gym down the street and have an introductory session there. Maybe I need to call the doctor and just create a follow-up appointment that I've been putting off. So sometimes those little 5-minute actions over the course of the 2 weeks are the game changer. But for some of you, you may not have a whole bunch of little things, whereas setting out your multivitamin the night before so you remember to take it every morning could be that consistent thing that you do over the course of the 2 weeks that really matter to you. Another question we get, can I change my 5-minute action if it isn't working for me, or do I have to use the same one all year? Absolutely. We want this tool to be something that you can use to be flexible for where you are at, no matter what time of year. So it doesn't have to be the same 5-minute action all year, or it can be. That's really your choice. What do you need to reaffirm in your day-to-day lifestyle? What's working for you right now? Always be asking that magic question. is the 5-minute action I chose still working for me? If you find that it's not, absolutely feel free to have the flexibility to change that and to do something different if you'd like to. How can I stay accountable to my 5-minute action? That's another thing that we say. Who's keeping track of me with this 5-minute action? Well, absolutely. We hope that you are keeping track, that the commitment you've made to that action is something that's really important to you, and that you are really trying to find a way to be creative with that 5-minute action. Potentially that could be, making a reminder in your phone or your calendar. Maybe that's reaching out to a friend to check in with you to see if you've done that 5-minute action. Sharing it with your family. I know that I shared my 5-minute action with both of my kids, and they absolutely love asking their mom if I followed up with that every day, because they feel like they get to nag me and pester me just a little bit when the tables are usually turned a lot of times. So those are just some general FAQs, and I'm sure that you're going to have more questions that you can ask me as we move towards the end of our hour together. But I think that like the general themes that we want you to be thinking about with your 5-minute action is to be flexible with it. Make sure that it's continually working for you. You can use your 5-minute action in a lot of different ways. It can be used as a scheduling tool to help you be consistent with your workouts, or with a particular habit like taking your fish oil in the morning or something like that. It's a way to get back on track if you find that you've moved away from logging in every day. That can become your 5-minute action. It can be the 5-minute action just to set your shoes out for your exercise. That can be your 5-minute action to get you back on track with exercise. It can be used as a way to start your day, like a morning ritual, set your intentions for the day, get grounded for what you have moving forward. Really, I think that what we want you to also know that we trust you with your 5-minute action. We trust as coaches that you know that there's something there that you want to be doing or building a consistent habit with, and that we want you to start trusting yourself in knowing what is best for you when it comes to your health and fitness. So that's just something, a little addition and to put around your 5-minute action, and to help you just create some engagement and some consistency across the board. So what I'd like to do now is have you go ahead and grab that piece of paper and your pen, and I'm going to take a few minutes here, and I'm going to ask you to reflect on just a couple questions and write those questions down. I'm going to put these one question at a time up the board, and for your first question, I want you to really think about, for the next 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes. And yes, I know it's a series of questions, but just think about in general. I want you to think about the 5-minute action you chose for this year right now. I want you to think about whether you chose one action or multiple actions. If you've chosen multiple actions, do you see a theme or a pattern across those actions? What are those actions doing for you? If you chose a single repeatable action, how does that action reflect your goals right now? Same with the repeatable actions. And are you flexing your habit building muscles with these? Are you kind of challenging yourself? Did you pick the easiest one you could find? Or did you pick something that you knew would actually move you in the direction of your goals? So I'm going to give you just a minute to answer those. And while you're doing that, I'm going to check in with Assistant Coach Bree. Bree, have we had anything come up that I need to know about?
No, nothing so far.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. So just about 1 more minute. to reflect on those goals. And those actions that you're taking for them. All right, go ahead and finish that one up. And then I'm going to go ahead and put your next question up. So now I want you to think about when you're thinking about these actions that you've been taking, what do you notice makes it easier for you to actually follow through with these actions? What are you doing to clear the path to make sure that you're doing these actions on a daily basis? Or what could you be doing to make sure you have a clear path for these small actions each day? Hey, Charlene, I see your question there, and absolutely, you're going to have access to these recordings. Each of your coaches will have the link to this recording, and they're going to be letting you know tomorrow, once I have the time to process the recording and everything. You can touch base, or actually most likely your coach will be letting the entire team know just how you can get the link to the recording. So hopefully that helps, Charlene. All right, so now what we're going to do, and this is kind of just a fun way, I'm going to add 2 additional questions to these thought exercises. And as I do so, I'm going to also be breaking you up into small breakout rooms. If you're on your phone, you're going to have to unmute to participate in these rooms once we get there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this process. Zoom is going to automatically put you. Yes, everybody will stay on chat. If you're on chat, that's great. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and test out these breakout rooms, put everybody into them. And here we go. And then I'm going to give you about 10 to 15 minutes to kind of talk to each other, talk about these thought exercises I'm giving you right now. I'm also going to ask you to reflect on these next 2 thought exercises. So for those, is there anything you're willing or needing to change right now about your 5-minute action? How might you see yourself using this particular action or the idea behind the 5-minute action throughout the year and beyond? And then what's your plan to do number 3? So I've given you guys some kind of talking points for your breakout sessions to kind of ponder what you're doing with your 5-minute action and what you'd like to be doing in the future. So here we go. I might be popping in and out of a couple of those breakout rooms, but I hope you enjoy your time and space there. And I will bring everybody back together in about 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah, Bree?
We have a really good question really fast that I think probably everybody could benefit from. And so they're just asking, they just say, so for clarity's sake, the 5-minute habit is something that we'll be doing the whole year. And over the course of the year, we continue to determine what our 5-minute habit is. PN won't be setting any habits for us to work on.
Okay, so this is great. Your 5-minute action is just one of 24 other habits that we are going to be asking you to do. Starting next Monday, we are going to give you a deliberate habit to follow that is separate from your 5-minute action. So I think the question that you're asking is, oh, am I choosing my own habits all year long? No. But I always want you to be using a 5-minute action every day to help you, if you need it, to just take action towards your goals. So we're going to give you some habits, but your 5-minute action is another tool you can use along with the other habits that are coming up. Does that help? I hope so. Okay, so Bree, hopefully they got back to us and that helped. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and assign these, and then after these breakout rooms, we're going to all come back together. We're going to talk about it. We're going to have time for an open Q&A session, so for you to be able to ask your questions and see what's going on. So I'm looking forward to that, and here we go. We're going to open those breakout rooms and see how this goes. And I'll see you guys all back in about 10 minutes or so. Awesome.
I'm happy to step in here. My name's Karen.
Hi, Karen.
And, hi. So Jermaine, we mentioned the same thing, that it was really nice to feel, at least for a few moments, a little bit of some connection, personal connection. One of the themes that came up for us was stretching, people making more time for that. And sometimes 5 minutes can change your day in that. Personally, I'll say that. And then also we reflected on, how it may feel a little slow, and wondering if we're supposed to be making our 5-minute habits a little more challenging or harder. And also reflecting on really, it may not be as important to how hard they are, but just practicing the practice of practicing.
Right, practicing the practicing. Those are good ones. Who else?
It's Catherine. I'll just say that I too really enjoyed the small group session. I was familiar with Zoom at my work, but this is a whole different process. So I think it works really well. And I'll just say for my 5-minute action, it was just to check in and absolutely complete the lessons before I go to bed at night. I got my husband on board, and now I check in with the lesson first thing in the morning to see what it is, and then I think about it all day. And then so that at night it doesn't take all that long to complete the lesson. And I'll just say the reason I did that is because I've been through the program before, and my number one roadblock was consistency. Absolutely number one, huge roadblock. So I'm trying to build my consistency muscle by doing this, and I can see myself keeping it as my 5-minute action, maybe adding others, but this will be my 5-minute action all year.
That's great.
Does my group see that woman's my soulmate?
Is somebody your soulmate?
She's my soulmate.
Nice. Oh, who else? Any aha moments? Any favorite moments from the breakout sessions that we want to share?
I just liked the fact that it helps everybody see what their 5 minutes were, which helped give everybody else ideas as to what they could use as 5 minutes, like the whole foam rolling and stretching. And that's something I want to become more with. And then also time management and scheduling too, that made a lot of sense, like that you kind of get those things down, because if they're written somewhere, you're kind of more committed to actually seeing those through as opposed to just thinking about it. But I like that.
Awesome. Well, you can feel free to continue to share about your 5-minute action sessions. You can also, I want to go ahead and just open up the floor for any other questions that you may have around today or around your PN experience so far. So I'm happy you can ask questions through the chat box. You can ask questions just out loud, just popcorn style, pop in and out, and with unmuting yourself. I just want to give some space and time for that. If you're planning on taking off before our time is up for the Q&A, I'm just going to ask you to hopefully, I just put up a poll. I just am looking for some feedback on these sessions. This is the first time we're doing these types of sessions. And I want to help some of the other coaches who will be doing them in the weeks after me to see how we can best structure those and what we can do for those. You might have seen a poll pop up. Answer it as you can as we're having question time here. But I'd love to just open the floor. Does anybody have anything about your 5-minute action, anything about PN general, any questions that have been on your mind that we can help with today?
I just wonder why PN is not more widely known. Like, I live in Nova Scotia and no, like 5 people maybe know about it. And that's probably it.
Well, I love that you're there. Hopefully you can help spread the word about us.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I think there's a perception when we're out there by ourselves and nobody else is talking about it that nobody knows. But then we can kind of look at the other end of the spectrum, and PN, we have clients in 120 different countries around the world.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it can kind of feel like maybe, so we're definitely out there spreading the word and getting out there. And so we are far reaching, but yeah, I think what we do is we attract the people who need us at that moment, at that time. And we're not for everybody. And hopefully we are for everybody, but sometimes people aren't ready for this type of commitment and process.
I definitely agree with that. I think that you are different because you're not like this huge marketing scheme, get fit quick type thing. It's like really teaching, like it's a program that I think that should actually be taught very early on in life of how to like actually eat properly, be consistent, all those types of things. So that's how I feel about this program.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Anybody else have any questions or thoughts they'd like to share?
Do you have any advice for people who struggle with consistency beginning this program, and sort of a good way to try and sort of address inconsistent tendencies?
That's a big question. So can I ask a clarifying question? Is it specifically around like logging in each day and being engaged with your lesson, or like where are you feeling the inconsistencies currently?
Yeah, I would say that even just logging in has become, like, I'm someone, as I'm sure a lot of us are, who's just like on the go a lot. I think that's like the people who got paired with you, or people who are like crazy doing all sorts of life things.
Yes.
My schedule isn't consistent. It's not like there's a moment and so I'm having a hard time sort of carving out the space because I'm always on the go. Even to sort of start engaging with PN well.
So I've had clients be successful in a few different ways there. I've had clients be successful by, even if they are on the go, they probably use their calendar as their lifeline. So sometimes just the act of scheduling 15 minutes into your calendar each day, even if it's not the same time, right? Like because your schedule is changing, potentially at the beginning of the week, you can kind of look out over that week and go, okay, I can do 15 minutes on this day here. I can do 15 minutes on this day here. I've also had clients be really successful with this idea of, yes, you're really busy, but there's probably a couple things that you do every day consistently. Maybe not at the same time, but an action you do consistent. Like, this one's the easiest to bring up, but brushing your teeth, for example, right? And trying to find something like the act of brushing your teeth to be a trigger for then reading your lesson. Another potential option would be listening to your lesson. I have lots of clients who they feel like they can do this by listening to their lesson while they make breakfast in the morning, or in the commute on the way to work. Lots and lots of commuters love listening to their lesson on the train or in the car. That's another option. Do you feel like any of those options might be something that you could try?
Yeah, I'm someone who's very wedded to my calendar, so I think that saying, yes, I will hours for this time, because I did pretty well at scheduling workouts, but it's the lessons and stuff that I've been, so scheduling is probably good for me, so thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Is there anybody else that has a question?
I have kind of a technical question.
Yeah, hopefully I can answer.
No, it's just about scheduling the workouts. I really liked the calendar that it gave me.
The monthly overview?
Yeah, I need more calendars. I like to write things out. There's something that I know, it's like a team sports thing I do every Wednesday night.
Okay, cool.
But I was wondering, is there a way to kind of tell your personal PN, I'm never going to be able to do that workout on Wednesdays because I'm doing something else. Can it automatically shift things for you? Because I'm trying to figure out where to put my recovery, and should I do 2 workouts back to back and that sort of thing?
Okay, so this is a great question. I can't, or your coach can't, change the day the card is actually delivered to you. But you can push the do later button on that workout card from your today page, and you can always go back and find it in your course archives when you're ready to do that workout. In terms of then looking though at your weekly calendar and saying, when do I want to work out? And looking at your calendar, because everybody kind of has a different workout. Not everybody does the same thing. Is yours a 3-day a week, 4-day a week? How many?
Yeah,
days?
Mine's 4 days a week.
Okay. So you have an option. If you feel like that activity on Wednesday night is intense enough, or you could either just look at it as a substitute for one of those workouts and just take one of the workouts out a week. Option 1. Option 2, if you would like to do that workout, let's say we're counting that group sport activity on Wednesday nights. It's a little bit more than active recovery, I get that. But let's say for you, you're kind of counting that as an active day, but you still want to get your resistance training in on those other 4 days. You can do one of those back to back, right? Because they're probably upper and lower body workouts. So it's okay to do 2 sessions in a row. And you can also just look at your calendar and if you want to do Saturday for one of the workouts, that's totally fine too, or Sunday. Does that help answer your question? I don't know.
Thanks.
Okay, cool. Anybody else have any questions for me? Anything come up, Bree, on our chat box for us?
I have a question.
Oh, good. I like questions. Go for it.
I am doing my own workouts on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
So I don't know whether I should try to follow along with what PN is doing, or I've got other alternative things that I could find to do on my own for workouts for the other days. Am I going to be missing out on something if I don't follow along in the PN workouts?
Let me, I'm going to ask this question and I'm going to answer your question by asking some questions to hopefully clarify things for you. Okay. the workouts that you already do, and then these other things that you mentioned that you could fill in with, do you love them? Is that what you enjoy doing?
Tuesday and Thursday, I'm not changing. I love it.
Good. Awesome. Okay. So this is the deal that I always have with my clients. If you love the workouts that you're doing and you enjoy that weekly schedule and you're moving consistently and you're doing about the same amount of, stuff that you would be doing in your PN workouts, keep rocking that workout. And the only time I'm ever going to kind of ask a client to change that is if, let's say, we feel like later in the year you are rocking your nutrition habits, you're rocking all of these other lifestyle habits that you're doing around the workouts. Hold on just a second. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I can see everybody better when I do this. So if I'm asking you later in the year about your workouts, because you're doing everything else great, the only reason I'm going to ask you to potentially change your workouts is if what you're doing isn't meeting your goals, like you're not getting the results you want from the programming you've chosen. Does that help and make sense?
Yes, it makes sense, but that's not really what I was asking.
Okay, so that was the start of that answer, because what I want to know is if what you're doing right now satisfies your need for activity. You're not missing out by not doing the workouts necessarily, right? If you're already getting what you need from the workouts you're doing.
Well, my question is, I'm definitely going to do my own thing on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Great.
But the other days, is it important for me to try to keep up with what's going on in PN, or should I just do other things also those days?
Would you like to try? I mean, I wouldn't. What are you doing on Tuesday and Thursday?
I have a sports activity with a team that I participate in. It's a lot of fun and it's good exercise, so I'm not going to change that.
No, I know. Can you tell me what that is specifically, though, so I can help guide you around that activity?
Called beach ball volleyball. You play it on a racquetball court with a beach ball. The ball floats through the air unpredictably, so it causes a lot of laughter. So it's a lot of fun, and everybody laughs all the time. And we're all seniors, and we have a great time. And it's we play for an hour and a half, so it's a lot of exercise. And I'm the organizer of the group, so. Awesome. I've got to go. I want to or not, but I love it, and everybody else loves it, so that's not going to change.
Yeah, but, I would encourage you then, Sally, I would encourage you to try your PN workouts at least maybe 2, maybe 3 days on the outside of that. Maybe Monday, Wednesday, and Friday can be your PN workouts, and that Tuesday and Thursday could be your beach volleyball. I got it. And then if that's not working for you, you're just like, it's too much in 1 week, then I would say cut that back by a day and try that out. And you can always kind of just experiment with your schedule over the next 3 or 4 weeks to kind of see what works best for you and how you feel in your body after trying to schedule out. Does that sound reasonable?
The PN movement, I presume that's going to be a progressive thing where you continue to build on a foundation? Okay. So if I miss the foundation, then.
Oh, she broke up. I don't know if it's my end or. Oh no. Hey, everybody.
And I apologize, I wasn't fully listening, but I got the question, if you've missed the foundation, can you catch up later? Is that correct?
Because she's doing another set of group exercises right now that she's not willing to give up.
Gotcha. So
thanks, girl. Sorry, yeah. I don't know what happened. everything froze on my end.
Did you hear the question? Because
I did, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I did. So Sally, you're still there. You were asking about, does PN's exercises, do they lay a foundation at the beginning and then build across your workouts over the course of the year, correct? That's where we were
Well,
at.
my question was, if I miss the foundational stuff, then it will be hard to pick up later, I presume. Is that correct?
It would be, it depends on what your specific workout your coach has given you, because everybody's workout is a little bit different, and I'm not looking at your particular workout, but most likely you would want to kind of get familiar with some of the movements now, and they do build, although later in the year, there's always an option within your workouts. There's a modify button on every exercise, so you could kind of regress some of those workouts later in the year to help you build a foundation if you weren't going to be active in that right now. Okay. Teresa, you have your hand raised. Do you want to unmute and ask your question?
Yes, and I was happy to see Lisanne come in too, because she and I exchanged messages on exactly this topic. Mm-hmm. In reflecting when I did my owner's manual exercises last week, some of the things I thought I was doing well was the fact that I do a personal training session. Mm-hmm. And so, but I haven't had, even though I feel as though, I've been doing the exercise, I did a running, I've been doing the personal training, my weight has not changed. I feel stronger, but I'm not burning fat. So I was struggling a bit with this exact same idea. Like, if I give up what I'm doing now, I give up fun, and it's taken me a long time to get to this kind of discipline and consistency where I really don't think about it. I get in the car, I just go. I meet this appointment every time. And so that's an asset that I have that I wasn't willing I'm not willing to give up. At the same time, I know I need to do something different. So we came up with the idea of, like, let's just think about the next 2 weeks. What can we do? Like, what can you do the next 2 weeks? So I'm going to try, for example, next week, I'll do the training Tuesday and Thursday and do my PN workout Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'll see how that goes. But I guess I wanted to both be in community with Sally, like, how do I now incorporate this new thing if what I'm already doing is great, and just share that.
Tony, would it be okay if I jumped in here?
Oh, absolutely, Kate. Coach Kate with us, everybody. And I do want to acknowledge to everybody that we are 4 minutes past the hour. But I am willing to definitely hang on here for a few minutes if people still have questions. But don't feel if you can't stay that you have to. I just want to give people permission first to know that I did realize what time it was. But Kate, go ahead and jump in.
Sorry, I'm like shiny and sweaty. A lot of you guys are wondering that if by doing another activity instead of PN workouts, will you be missing out? Mm-hmm. Please know that you will absolutely be missing out, right? And that's okay. You will always miss out on something that you choose not to do. But you notice that the actual issue here is our fear of missing out, but you can't do everything, right? So the price that you pay by engaging in the activities that you enjoy is the fact that you miss out on something else. And that's okay. So when Sally's asking, but will it be more difficult for me if I miss 100% of the fundamentals building? Would it be more difficult for me to catch up? Well, compared to you doing every single workout as prescribed, of course it will be more difficult. But you're also the person that can run around for an hour and a half twice a week. So that tells me you're actually pretty fit. So I'm not too worried, right? If you work out, if you follow the PN workouts twice a week rather than 3 or 4 times a week. So it will be a little bit more difficult, but that's okay. I wouldn't be too worried. So just my 2 cents.
Awesome, Kate. Thanks. Who else? Anybody else? Go ahead. I'm sorry, who was that? Did somebody say? I thought somebody started a question.
I think that was me, Tony. I just wanted to say thank you to the person who spoke.
Oh, that was Coach Kate. That was Coach Kate.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, ladies. Do we have any other questions before I let everybody go today?
Thank you.
No? Awesome. Thank you, everybody. It was great having you. And
thank you.
It was great learning. Bye, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Awesome platform.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Tony, I do have a quick question.
Sure, Lisa, go for it.
I know I was on the phone before and joined later. The point I teach during the Wednesday Q&A around the workouts.
Okay, and those aren't going to be every Wednesday. It just happened I hosted it on Wednesday at that time this week. But if you had a question, I'm happy to.
Well, you know, I want to keep the workout that has been assigned me, but I'm just noticing, like, I've walked and I've done yoga for a long time, but the workout, like, I finally did Monday's workout late last night, and you know, just feeling my blood pumping like that was a big aha. And I also felt like I had this image. I mean, I do gardening all summer. I am, but I'm really not in shape, and it kind of jolted me in a way of this is really challenging, and I know that there's a modify button, and so now I finally did it. You know, I had some, I think, you know, some procrastination around trying that first workout. I am working with a trainer who's doing muscle activation technique.
Okay.
So I'm not using the machines yet, but that's my intention. Okay. I want to do this training very mindfully and holistically.
Okay.
But that first workout kind of burned my butt in that I noticed how weak I am.
Mm-hmm.
So now I did it late last night, basically in my nightgown.
Hey, good for you, though. I'm proud of you for showing up. That's the first step.
Yeah, it was. I really noticed how I'm pushing it off, and why is that? But you know, old tapes or whatever. But so now today is an active recovery day, but I plan on doing workout 2 just to start learning. Okay. The process or the moves. I'm a great abstract thinker. It's that concrete sequential that I don't, you know, jazzercise steps, forget it. I learn every time. So I just want to say that, you know, this is pretty powerful for me. And as far, I want to just sort of voice that, I guess. I don't really know what there is to do, except, I mean, I'll keep showing up, but this has been just that physicality. Is huge. I really want to build the fire, but the experience of feeling that blood and the challenge of moving. I don't really have a great setup here. I have this funky house without traditional walls and doors, and you know, so probably a gym workout will be better for me. But yeah, I guess I just want to say, like, I'm now going to do workout 2 at some point today.
I'm really proud of you for stepping forward and doing that, and even like kind of facing that. I don't want to call it a fear so much, because I don't really get the sense that it's a true fear, but like it's a realization, like wow, oh my goodness, like
powerful.
It's really powerful, and just honoring that space that you've kind of created there is really great. And the only thing I would say is definitely use the modify button. Talk to your coach if you ever feel like the workout is just progressing, you know, beyond what you want to be doing right now. Feel free to do everything just with body weight to start, or with really light weights. Even just like a 12-ounce water bottle can be used for a row or something. I'm not saying give yourself a complete break, because I love the fact that you actually felt that heart pumping, action, because I think that does just show you like, oh my gosh, I can really feel something here. I can really get a sense of what my body's capable of, right? There's a little bit of potential there.
Yeah, and the other thing that I felt so strongly is the weakness in the breath and the core connection, like just the awareness of that I wasn't engaging, the tipped pelvis or, the sacrum, the integrity.
Yes. Yeah.
For me, it is really about the form and the awareness of feeling the integrity. Even it's not about the weight. I can push through and do the weight, but I'm collapsed.
Yes. So the form integrity, and even at the beginning, if taking off like a set or taking away some of the repetitions helps you keep that integrity in your form.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't do all those repetitions.
That's great. That's perfect. As long as you
just trying it was the mountain I climbed.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you're just trying each exercise one time, awesome. High five.
Right. But then that rigidity of okay, can I press the button that I did the workout?
Yes. Yes, please do. Because if you are showing up and you can answer the question, I'm showing up and doing what I'm capable of and what I can do right now in this moment. And the answer is yes, you did your workout.
Okay.
You did it. So, all right. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Take care. Amberlynn, you want to quick hop in for your question?
Sure. Basically, I missed yesterday's workout meeting because I have just a regular work meeting that I have to facilitate. A, is it recorded? B, was it kind of more of the same, just like questions like today for people?
Yeah, it was yesterday. I did not have like a presentation or anything at all. It was just an open Q&A just for people to shoot me questions.
Okay.
I don't record.
It's okay.
Those.
I don't need. If it was, I just didn't know if there was a presentation I should watch.
Yeah, no presentation yesterday. I don't record the Q&As because usually when you watch them back, they're so kind of disjointed in like all the information and stuff. It's kind of hard to follow. And so, but these group coaching sessions will always be recorded as each coach kind of does one each week.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Amber.
See you
Bye.
soon.
Bye.
Where will we find those recordings?
The ones from today, what will happen is as soon as we get off here, this recording will kind of download to my hard drive. I'll need to upload that into like a YouTube format or something that will create a link that will be shareable. Your coaches I'll share that with each of the coaches, and then they're going to distribute it out for those requesting to view it. And how that's going to work typically is there'll just be a quick Google form for you guys to fill out that says, hey, yeah, I'd like to watch the video. It just lets us know who you are. So we know we're not just giving out the information to random people. And then that once you filled out that Google form, it will provide you with the link to the video. And I'm going to be putting all that information in my team newsletter tomorrow. So there'll be specific instructions on exactly how to access the link.
Okay, Lizanne is my coach.
And sure, she's going to do something really similar. I'll also be putting on our Facebook team, the instructions for how to access it. And I'm assuming that your assistant coaches for your team will be doing the same thing.
So that group, so when we are being recorded in these, that's going to be out there into the world?
Just for that's why we really monitor who has access to that link. So it'll be out there to just the women in the January 2017 women's cohort. Just the women here.
YouTube, and it made me a little nervous.
I know, but we put some privacy settings on that, so it just becomes available to the women here. Yes.
Tony?
Yes, Sally.
I came late and it looked like you had some kind of presentation up, but I don't see it now. Is there some way to access that?
That's what she was just asking. I recorded the entire presentation, and then I'm going to have that all available to everybody, hopefully by tomorrow at the latest.
I don't mean the talking. I mean, it looked like you had some kind of...
Correct. The whole presentation is all in one recording.
Okay, so I can't see that right now.
No, you can't see it right this second. No, again, it'll all be on one video together.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, any other questions before I let you go? Janelle, did you have any questions? Are you good? You're good? Okay. Well, I'm gonna let everybody go. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. Bye, guys.